What's going on, guys? So I got an album review here for you. It's not a new one, but it's definitely one that I wanted to review. I didn't get around to reviewing it when it was first released, so I thought I'd review it right now. It's a Collapse Expand by Sarah Longfield, who is Bay. So I'm gonna get right into it. So, a new discovery, very fanciful. It gave a very fanciful kind of a frolicky kind of vibe to it. The drums sounded really, really nice on. I love how they sounded very, very clean and smooth. Really video gamey kind of track. The whole album kind of sounds like that, but it's very video gamey, very, very chill. I was kind of bobbing my head to it, a lot throughout it. It wasn't too crazy or too soft, but very, very, very chill, very smooth. Head bobby, you know, and it reminded me of a beach with multicolored sand a lot. It sounds kind of weird, but it was very just kind of fanciful and soft and soothing kind of, and I just thought of a beach with like different sparkling colors of sand, like bright pinks and greens and blues and yellows and all that kind of stuff. So very, very nice opening track, very good. I enjoyed that a lot. Very, very, very interesting track. And so the Salient Voyage gave a little Oriental vibe, kind of a little bit of Asian kind of vibe there that I really enjoyed, and that definitely caught the attention of my ears, of course. Very, very nice. There was also this little like woodblock sound. I don't know why, but it really, really just kind of interested me when it was playing, and then when it stopped, I kind of missed it. I'm not sure what that was or what their intention was with that, but it was really nice. It just kind of, like, I was like, oh, that's kind of nurturing, I guess. But that was really cool. Very spacey, kind of like, I don't know, what was the name of that one show? It was a while back. But there was a show, I think it was on Disney Channel, about this guy who was like a green alien, and he had like a mom who was a chief on some space station, and his little sister had telekinesis, and she was like El Nino Diablo in one episode. I think it was like Lloyd in space or something like that, but that's what it reminded me of. Very kind of like spacey, a little kind of a little bit techno-y, but more just like spacey and outer space like, and all that kind of stuff. And this one had vocals in it, and the vocals were very, very nice. The harmonies were great, of course, and the vocal, they were kind of a surprise, but they came in really well and were used really well, and they didn't, overpower anything, and they weren't too overabundant anywhere. So that was a cool, nice thing to throw in there, I didn't really expect, vocals on this one, or at least not in this manner. So that was really, really cool. Very nice. I enjoyed that a lot. And yeah, toward the end, definitely got a little Animals as Leaders vibe there. Definitely felt some Animals as Leaders influence there, and that was really nice. I enjoyed that as well. Yeah, and Ember, my bad. So I got this really strong tribal feeling from this. And what I was envisioning most of the time was, when you see, any movie or show, and they're in front of the fire circle, and they toss things into the fire to make it colorful, or you see faces in the fire. That's kind of what it reminded me of. It was very, very, very tribal, very cultural, I guess I'll say. And that's really what I was envisioning in my mind. Dancing around the fire. It got kind of dubsteppy, which was kind of cool, and it didn't really take away from, the tribal vibe or anything like that too much, which I enjoyed. She incorporated that in there without, taking away from. She incorporated like modern music without taking away from that ancient tribal feel and stuff. So that was really cool. Yeah, okay. This seems like a really cool one to make a music video of. Like, I would very much enjoy seeing a music video for this, and I think it can be done really well and be really creative if done correctly. I would love to see a music video for this one. Very nice. Love that tribal feel, a little dubsteppiness that was in there. Very nice. Very well done. Sore Eyes. Very somber, of course, you know. After it started and a few seconds into it, I kind of envisioned, you know, in music videos or movies where someone's crying and it just zooms in on their face and their tears are coming down from the side like that or whatever. That's kind of what I started thinking of when this one first came on. You know, the vocals, again, sounded really, really nice. The harmonies were good. This particular song, though, I felt like the vocals kind of were a little lower than everything else, and they kind of got drowned out and were more backgroundish. Isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's what she was going for, but this and the others, well, the other songs that have vocals, the vocals sounded more higher and better balanced with the instruments, but this particular song kind of felt like the vocals were just a little drowned out. But other than that, the vocals sounded good. It really reminded me of a desert video game level. You know, like, you know, that one boss in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild where you have to ride those, like, sand seals or whatever, and you have to, like, shoot the explosive arrows at it because it dives down into the sand or whatever. Reminded me of that. Reminded me of that one desert level from Sonic Riders, or those two desert levels from Sonic Riders, and just gave me a really kind of, you know, desert feel, you know, desert video game feel, which was really cool, really retro. I enjoyed that. It was very adventurous, probably the most adventurous track on the album, to me at least. Definitely the most adventurous. It wasn't, you know, it changed, you know, a good bit of time, which I enjoyed. It was pretty cool. And, you know, it was heavy. You know, it had a really nice heavy parts in there, but it wasn't like boom, 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 boom. You know, it was smooth heaviness. It was light heaviness. And I'll get into that when I talk about the album as a whole. But nice, very nice. So First Flight, fast, you know, very, very fast paced, you know, but smooth, you know. It was like, you know, it was tastefully fast. I'll put it that way, tastefully fast, which I enjoyed. That was very interesting how she worked the speed in there, but it wasn't, you know, like, you know, dragon force, you know, all that kind of stuff. The drums, yeah, okay, so the blast beats in this one, they were really clean, and they were blast beats, but they weren't, you know, overpowering at all. It was very organic and, you know, smooth. I'm probably going to be saying that a lot. But, yeah, the blast beats were there, and I was like, oh, wow, it's blast beats, but it's not, like, you know, overpowering or too much. I was like, wow, that's interesting. Really cool on that. So, yeah, those blast beats were clean and smooth and appropriate. So, yeah, that was surprising. I was surprising they were, you know, like, they fit in so well. So, good job there. Yeah, and for some reason, I started thinking of Sonic the Hedgehog, random times. You know, not a particular game or show, just, I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, yeah, so that might have had something to do with it. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't know why I got that vibe off of it. And yeah, all the bass, all the deep notes sounded really, really nice. I like how they came through and added like a slight little punch. Very nice. And Tides, yeah, definitely reminded me of Tron, the second Tron that Daft Punk did the soundtrack for. Tron Legacy, that's what it was called. Definitely reminded me of that. But it's funny because it reminded me of that, but throughout the whole song, I just envisioned someone playing this on like a synth. You know, I could picture, you know, a little side view of someone at a synth just playing with their fingers. I don't know why, but throughout the whole song, I just picture someone playing this whole thing on a synth. And I don't know why that was. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just the way my brain works, you know, because piano was the first instrument I played and I was trained on it, so I don't know, for some reason I just envisioned someone playing this whole thing on a synth, and it was really cool, and their fingers were like, you know, and all that stuff. But, oh yeah, great track though, for sure. And another thing that was this is a very interesting track. because there aren't any lyrics or vocals on it, but I started coming up with vocal lines and vocal harmonies and lyrics as I was listening to it, and that's something I've never done before listening to any instrumental song ever. You know, because you can't exactly, come up with easy vocal parts or Animals' Leader song or Named a Vivaldi song or anything like that. But for this song, as I was listening to it and kind of getting, a little lost in it, I actually started coming up with vocal harmonies and, lyrics for it. And that was shocking and fascinating. It was weird. That's never happened to me before. But, yeah, I don't know why. What was up with this track that made me do that, but it was interesting. It was interesting and really, really cool. I've never had an instrumental song make me think of lyrics for it as I'm listening to it and everything like that. So that was very, very interesting. A little weird, but very interesting. Yeah. So Concentration Chaos. First thing I have written down is weird. I don't know. Just as soon as it started, I was just like, oh, weird. Not a bad weird or anything. Just like, weird. That was literally it. But yeah, Distortion. Huh. I don't remember why I wrote down Distortion. Is this the one that has the? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the one. This is the one that has the like the vocals on it, like the near throat singing stuff. I think this is the one that has that on it. And yeah, it was just, yeah, the voice is on there. Like, I don't know if she did that with like a synth program or she actually got someone to come in and do those, like anything like that. But yeah, that was interesting to hear. It made it very kind of doomy. A little dark and a little like heavier, but that was pretty cool. And it went from envisioning like a water fountain with drops dropping into it to just someone playing this on a guitar underwater. It was really interesting because weird, and then a little distorted voice stuff, and then it was like you're looking at the water fountain and it zooms in on the drops dropping into it and the slow motion of that, and then it just goes under the water and you see like this person playing it on guitar underwater, because that's kind of what the sound reminded me of. And that's not a bad thing, it's just like I just pictured her playing it underwater with like her hair slowly flowing and just like her fingers moving, and it was kind of cool to watch in my head, of course. But yeah. And Marching Robot. Yeah, so I don't know, like more near the end, it just reminded me of like robots marching, or like a marching sentinel just walking with all the technological sounds that robots make in sci-fi movies and all that good stuff. So yeah. Autumn Air. Yeah, so this one reminded me of Playing While the Wind Blows, which is how I envisioned it. Standing on, a hill. Like, if you've seen the music video Call of the Mountain by Longfield, that's kind of what it reminded me of. Just like standing on a cliff or some kind of grassy hill and just playing While the Wind Blows through the air, in slow motion. That's what I kind of envisioned for this song, yeah, slow motion, and then the vocals were very nice. The vocals sounded balanced on this one. Her vocals are nice on this one. Very balanced, very clean. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. And then Illuminate. This one actually made me bounce my shoulders. I was doing like a lot of this while I was listening to Illuminate. Very, very nice, kind of groovy, groovular track right there. The solo is very precise. This is probably my favorite solo off the album. It's very precise. It wasn't too much or too little, and it fit very well in context of the song. And the rhythm under it, I also really, really enjoyed the rhythm under the solo. Very, very, very nice. nicely done on that one with the solo. Yeah, and yeah, vocals. Yeah, I said vocals and rhythm. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. And Regeneration. I like the voice clips. Didn't exactly understand what the lady was saying at the tail end of what she was saying, but the voice clips were nice. It gave it, some character and some mood since it was such a short track. But pretty good outro track. There wasn't too much to it. A little bit of music behind it with some like two little voice clips, a woman and a man, short, but definitely enjoyed it. I didn't really expect to be writing so many notes for this one, but I actually wrote like a good amount of notes. You can read my terrible cursive there. But yeah, so now I'll talk about the album as a whole. It was very, very interesting the way it was. I don't know if she mixed it herself or anything like that, but it's very interesting to me when I hear someone use, a 7 or 8 string guitar, and when they hit the low E, when they hit like the B string, or like any of the lower strings, it doesn't sound, I guess I'm really used to, the typical like like the Guitar Center in my town just got this 9-string guitar, and it is just so ridiculous. I can't help but laugh anytime I play it, because you just hit the low, and it's like barely even audible. But it's really fascinating and interesting to me, and I love it when I can hear an extended range guitar and the low strings are getting hit and it doesn't sound too gravelly or too thumpy, because the lows sounded amazing in this, and the whole album as a whole, it just sounded really, really, it had this interesting sound to it where it was a little fuzzy, but also very smooth and crisp at the same time. I'm not sure, I would love to see what kind of, what kind of pedals or what kind of tones she uses, because the whole album, the drums were very, very present, but they never overtook, like I said, when the bass was doing that blast beat. They were very present, but they never overtook. And the solos were very clean and crisp. And the lows were definitely lows and, kind of chuggy, but it didn't sound overpowering or immensely heavy like you'd hear on, a Periphery song or anything like that. It was just all together very clean, and it had this interesting, dryness to it that worked for it. And it was really just, a pleasure to listen to, and not just because of the vocals or instrumentation, but just the atmosphere that she created by using the tones and the effects that she did. Because like I said, it was like kind of, fuzzy, but also like crisp and dry, and it all sounded really well together. Like, and I never actually heard an album mixed like this before, and I really like to know what kind of effects or what she was using, because it was just really interesting to listen to. Like I said before, kind of pictured, it being played underwater, but it wasn't, like so fuzzy that it hurt your ears, or like when the guitar solos came in, it wasn't so like crisp from the rest of the track that it made your ears kind of ring or it sounded too shrill. It was just very interesting how it was mixed with the effects and whatever she used. And that was really, really interesting. I really wonder what she used for it. It just sounded so unique. It was weird and interesting, and yeah, it was just really interesting. The whole album just sounded, it was like all these different kind of tones that shouldn't really fit together, but it worked. Kind of like what Cry Venom did on their Vanquish the Demon album, how they put all those 3 or 4 genres into one, or like Amaranth does with their stuff. But all the different like tones and like effects that were put on everything, you really, really didn't expect them to work together too well, but she somehow put them all together coherently and made it make sense and actually sound good. The drums were very different from the synth parts, and the solos were different from the rhythm parts, and they all sounded their own kind of distinct way, but when they all came together, they all worked, which was interesting. You know, the whole album, I was kind of waiting for it to somewhat derail. Someone be like, oh, there, it doesn't fit her. But it never happened, which is interesting. But, yeah, definitely. I don't have any complaints except for, you know, the vocals in that one song sounding a little bit drowned out. And at some points it sounded like you could pinpoint where it sounded kind of like the same in every song, just for like 1 millisecond. But that's not really a bad thing. If anything, it just kind of unifies the album more. But very, very interesting sounding album. It was very, you know, everything was great, but just the overall sound of it, you know, just the way she mixed all those things was very, very interesting. This album came out, I think, February 22nd or something. So if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. I'll leave a link to the Bandcamp down in the description, as well as a link to Sarah Longfield's channel. But definitely check this album out. She has a playthrough of the Salient Voyage. Check that out. I'll link that as well. But yeah, just go check this album out and see for yourself, you know. If you guys like these reviews, give me a like, comment, or you can subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and rock on.